Hey guys, Eric here. Just a heads up, I'm not going to be on camera today, and my voice probably sounds really weird because I woke up and I'm under the weather, so I do apologize for that. However, it is what it is, and I want to get through this video where we talk about the casting for the Harry Potter HBO series. All right, before we get heavy into this, I just want to point out that I am not a fan of J.K. Rowling. I've never been a fan of J.K. Rowling, and it's just gotten worse over the last few years. I am also not emotionally attached to Harry Potter. It's not something that I hold near and dear to my heart. I know a lot of you guys out there do, a lot of people have over the years. For me, it's not something that I care about. Like, I'm not standing in line the night a Harry Potter movie comes out or anything like that. It's just not my thing. I didn't play the game. I wasn't into all of that. I did keep up with what was going on with like the backlash and the boycott and everything, but overall, not a massive Harry Potter fan. So this is coming from someone who is just an outsider looking in to all the drama that's going on. So as I expected with the casting of the three lead characters with Harry, Hermione, and Ron, there's been some internet backlash. We're already seeing it now all over social media, and I'm sure more videos to come. My issue with this, and just this whole Harry Potter reboot in general, is that there is so much controversy around J.K. Rowling. Like, so much stuff that she does online, the transphobic stuff she says, all the things that she does that are awful and hateful. She chooses to do that as an adult. Unfortunately, that connects to the things that she has created, which are Harry Potter and the Harry Potter world. So now we have three kid actors coming into this, and I sort of blame HBO for this a little bit as well, because, you know, this is obviously a show for them and they want to do more with this IP, but they're doing it with all of this drama surrounding JK and bringing in very young child actors onto the show where they don't really know necessarily what they're getting into. And I'm not saying that, you know, someone as young as a child actor may not understand the nuances of hatred and all of that. There's no guarantee that these kids even understand what the drama around JK is. So they're getting cast into this. They probably are not on social media, which means that they're not going to hear all of the hateful, negative stuff, which is a good thing initially. But then after a couple of years of being on the show, as they get older, they're going to get online and they're going to start going back and looking at all of these things that people have said about them. And we know it is out there. It is a fact that child actors, children in Hollywood, deal with some of the worst mental and emotional abuse and more than any of the other actors in the industry. And so going into this, they're getting wrapped up in all of these things that JK does as an adult, where she can make her own decisions and decide how she wants to go out and be and what kind of statement she wants to make. And they're getting wrapped up into that at a very young age. And I think it's just awful. It's awful because this is a different situation. Like, we talked about it with Skeleton Crew and Star Wars. And there was always the potential that they were going to go hard on attacking the kids from Skeleton Crew. There was always a chance that was going to happen. But that's nothing. That is nothing like the drama surrounding J.K. Rowling and the Harry Potter franchise. And so we have this tweet here. I want to read this to you. And we have a little bit more to look at as well, where it just talks about the casting of, you know, Harry, Hermione, and Ron. And then up here we have, this is one of the many tweets. I picked this one out because it kind of combines everything that I've been reading. Mixed race Hermione, black Snape, pack it up, guys. HBO Harry Potter is going to be an absolute shit show. My sympathies to the child actors. They know not what they've gotten into. J.K. Rowling cares more about virtue signaling than authentic casting, apparently. And they're talking about this because J.K. is obviously involved in all of these projects to some degree. She has some control over some of these things. One of the things we have to remember is that there was actually in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, there was a black actress cast as Hermione in that, and J.K. Rowling came out in support of it. The last I checked, she was still supportive of this casting. And so it does seem like she has no problem with playing around with the race of her characters. And keep in mind, these are her characters. Regardless of how you feel about her, these are her characters. Meaning that if she says that this character is this thing, whether she changes it or not, these are her characters. And so everyone out there, you know, in the anti-woke community, the grifty community, they want to side with her because she is so she says extremely transphobic things on Twitter. She retweets extremely transphobic things. They want to be on her side because of that, but then she's also a feminist, and clearly she doesn't have a problem with casting diverse people in roles for her shows, and including Broadway and TV shows. Now, I'm not saying that she had a hand in it 100%. Like, she's not the person that went in and handpicked any of the people that are portraying these roles, but she's supported them. So there's that. We also had the situation over here where the actor who plays Snape, now Paapa Essiedu, was standing with trans solidarity in an open letter. We talked about this last month. And so she's not said too much about that. I think she made one comment where she's like, she has no control over, you know, what he says or what he does. She can't fire him. And I believe she would have fired him because of this if she had the power? Yes. But I think they're locked into like an 8-year contract. So HBO doesn't want to pay out an 8-year contract on somebody that she doesn't like. But then if you look over here, you can see that they've already started with all of this. Pretty awful stuff from Nerdrotic, as expected. You know, he's going hard on this. I'm sure that even though he doesn't seem to be too concerned about the casting of Hermione at the moment, it's going to get worse. He's gonna do it. He's gonna go hard on it. He's gonna say awful things about it, because that's what they do. That's their entire business model, is to, you know, get people outraged over racial issues. That's what they're like. Anything diverse that they can get people angry about is part of their business model. And so I suspect it will just change over time, especially if everyone starts pulling that narrative. He will jump on board with it. You will see. I didn't see it yet, but I can guarantee we're going to see thumbnails like this with random black people and arrows drawn to Hermione, or the white Hermione, or something like that. That's what they're going to do. That's their typical thing. But the last thing I want to talk about before we jump out of here is the reason why these guys do this. And I think it's pretty important to talk about this, because it does boil down to money. I need you guys to understand it is a money situation. So if you look here, let's look at the top 4 most profitable film franchises in the world. And this doesn't include the merchandising. It doesn't include all the other stuff that goes along with it, which then inflates the value of this. So remember MCU? Remember that? Remember how it's Marvel is dead? Well, it's a $32 billion film franchise. It's not... The closest one to that isn't even close. It's not even remotely close to the value of the MCU. So regardless of how many movies have failed, the overall value of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is still higher by and large than any other company. And then we have Spider-Man, which, to be fair, would tie into the MCU in some ways or another. I don't know if it's included in that 32 billion. This chart doesn't make a note of that, but I will say that, you know, 11.15 billion is an incredible number. Then, of course, remember, Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dead. Kathleen Kennedy killed it. Just over $10 billion in value on that franchise. But it's dead, you guys. Remember, Star Wars is dead. There's a lot of people that don't like to see things successful. They don't want to see things do well. They prefer to tear things down. And what these guys have done is they've sort of honed in on that and marketed that outrage and funneled it at specific targets. And so it should be no shock that the vast majority of the stuff that they complain about on their channels is in the top 4 most profitable film franchises of all time. Just a little food for thought. Let me know what you think about this down below. Are you going to watch the Harry Potter TV series? Are you going to tune in and support it? Are you not? I'm very curious where everybody else feels on this. So give me your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, with that being said, I'm out of here. I'm going to go take some medicine. I'll see everybody in the next video.